On the news, gunmen kidnap 4 students of Nasarawa State University. Court disqualifies APC candidate Temepere Silva from Bayelsa governorship election, APC to appeal judgment. And NNPCL dismisses claims of resuming petrol subsidy payment. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Simisola Adigun. With just a month to the Bayelsa State governorship election, Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court Abuja has disqualified the candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Temepere Silva, from contesting in the November 11 governorship poll. Justice Okorowo ruled that Silva, having been sworn in twice and served 5 years as governor of the state, would breach the 1999 constitution as amended if allowed to contest again. The judge also held that if Silva was allowed to contest the next election, it meant a person could contest as many times as he wanted. Reacting to the judgment, the All Progressives Congress Governorship Campaign Council in Bayelsa State says it will appeal the judgment. In a statement on Tuesday by the Director, Media and Publicity, Perry Tukwe, the council described the verdict as an already failed bid to dash the hopes of Bayelsans to have their preferred candidate by February 14, 2024. The council reassured the people of Bayelsa a landslide victory at the polls. Well, let's discuss this judgment further. Political affairs analyst Dayo Akintobi joins me on the news. Thank you for your time, Mr. Akintobi. Now, let me start by getting your reaction to the court's judgment, which it says breaches the 1999 Constitution. What's your reaction to the judgment?
Well, it's an interesting legal question, and today it's the Supreme Court that will decide. Today, the law is what the Supreme Court says is the law, because the Constitution cannot anticipate every single element of human behavior. And so the Constitution is written very broadly, and it's the Supreme Court that interprets. So quite all right, the Constitution says you can only run twice, you can only be sworn in twice, you can only do 2 terms. But Temepere Silva's argument is that his initial election in 2007 was nullified. The courts nullified it, and as far as he's concerned, that nullification meant like it never happened. So he is disqualifying he's trying to obliterate that entire 1 year that he was first in office before his election was nullified. And then they recontested the election and he won again and went on to do a 4-year term. So what he is saying essentially is the first 1 year he did doesn't count simply because it was nullified by the court. Well, is he right or is he wrong? Who are we to say? Even constitutional lawyers cannot predict this one, because at the end of the day, the law is what the Supreme Court says is the law. So until the Supreme Court adjudicates on it, all the rest of us are doing is speculating. However, it being an election matter, it being an election, pre-election matter, it means that it has to be adjudicated before the election is held in November. The risk for the APC is if they appeal and go all the way to the Supreme Court and they lose there, it will have passed the date where they can substitute another candidate and they'll find themselves going into the election with no candidate. So there's a risk that the APC must weigh whether it is worth going all the way and taking the risk, or whether they should just accept this disqualification, substitute now when the window is still open for a substitution. Is a risk, because we can't predict which way the Supreme Court is going to go on this issue.
All right, political affairs analyst Mr. Dayo Akintobi, thank you very much for speaking with us, for lending your thoughts. 4 students of the Nasarawa State University Kefi have been kidnapped by armed men who invaded the lodge at Angwan Kare, a community in the Kefi local government area. Confirming the incident, the police public relations officer in the state, DSP Rahman Nansel, explained that the abduction of the victims, who are all first-year students of the school, occurred in the early hours of Tuesday. He, however, said the Commissioner of Police, Mayaki Baba, had ordered the manhunt of the culprits to rescue the victims unhurt. Also reacting to the incident in a statement, the Student Union Government Chairman Oshafu Abdurrahman condemned the act, urging students to remain calm and join in prayers as efforts are in place to secure their release in sound health. As part of continued efforts aimed at bolstering maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea, the Nigerian Navy has flagged off combined exercises, the Crocodile Lift and Grand African Nemo 2023. The exercises as joint initiatives between the French Navy and the Nigerian Navy. Nigeria's Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, said the criminal activities, including crude oil theft and illegal oil bunkering, pose a grave risk to national well-being, adding that the importance of national and international collaboration to mitigate this threat are important. Our correspondent, Tamilore Akinkwoliye, has more details.
The Gulf of Guinea region has become a focal point for international concerns of maritime security over the last decade, as it represents a global hotspot for incidents of piracy and armed robbery at sea. A range of new initiatives focused on the region are therefore seeking to address these issues. One of such is a joint sea exercise tagged Crocodile Lift and Grand African Nemo 2023 in the Gulf of Guinea, a joint effort between Nigeria and French naval personnel aimed at building capacity in tackling maritime security challenges. Flagging off the fifth edition of the initiative, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, highlighted the significant security challenges facing the GLG region, emphasizing that many of these threats directly target Nigeria's economic lifeline.
That the security of the breaches in the Gulf of Guinea pose serious challenge to our national well-being. It is disturbing that most of the criminals in our maritime domain are targeting our economic lifeline, particularly issues of crude oil theft, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, piracy, sea robbery, and other nefarious acts. A comprehensive approach is therefore required, such that it involves both national and international collaboration to mitigate the impact of the myriad of these maritime threats confronting the Gulf of Guinea nations.
On his part, the flag officer commanding the Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Mohammed Abdullahi, emphasized the importance of these exercises in creating a safe and secure maritime environment.
This year's exercise is aimed at creating a safe and secure maritime environment for shipping and other economic activities to thrive through the prevention of piracy, sea robbery, crude oil theft, illegal bunkering, and other forms of criminalities within the Western Naval Command area of responsibility. This is in line with the Chief of the Naval Staff's vision and mission statement, which is aimed at harnessing the full benefits of the Nigerian's maritime environment for the country's economic growth.
Also speaking, the French defense attaché to Nigeria acknowledged the collaborative effort, underscoring the value of the cooperation that has developed between France and Nigeria.
Nigeria has also played a leading role in the development of the Yaoundé architecture, which celebrates this year its 10th anniversary, especially by implementing the YARIS communicating and information system in order to allow a better sharing of information on maritime activity in the Gulf of Guinea among the various navies operating in the area and in connection with the French and British MICA and MDAT-GOG center based in Europe.
This year's exercise involves multiple maritime operation zones of the Yaoundé architecture, and the Nigerian Navy will deploy 7 ships, 1 special boat service unit, 2 helicopters, and 4 maritime operation centers to ensure the success of Exercise Grand African Nemo 2023. Tamilore Akinkwoliye, TV 360, Lagos.
Moving on, the coroner presiding over the inquiry into the tragic death of Sylvester Romany, a 12-year-old student of Darwin College, Lekki, has heard the testimony of the deceased mother, Rosemary Romany. The witness, who was summoned to testify before the magistrate Mikhail Kadri, sitting in Ogbai Keja Magisterial Division, said that the son did not have any prior health challenges before the incident that led to his death. In her testimony, Rosemary said that her son Sylvester informed her that he was beaten in school, contrary to what school officials told her when he got injured during a football match. She also told the court that the deceased identified 3 students of the college who allegedly bullied him, adding that he returned from school with high temperature, pale lips, and swollen hips. The court admitted the document and statement in evidence as there were no objections from counsel and adjourned till November 20 for adoption of written addresses. Former Minister of Education Obi Ezekwesili has called on African leaders to fully participate in politics and lend their voices to issues that affect their future. Ezekwesili made the call at the just concluded 2023 School of Politics, Policy and Governance graduation in Abuja. While lamenting on poor leadership, the former minister said Africa is still contending with bad leaders despite millions of talented people on the continent, adding that the trend must be reversed.
We are saying that it is not our destiny to be governed by the worst amongst us. And if you reject a situation, then you must act to correct that situation. Africa's change is certain. It is inevitable. But Africa's change will not happen without intentionality in correcting the anomalies. If we succeed in correcting the leadership anomaly that we have on our continent, one thing is certain: Africa will claim the 21st century.
You can lose everything, but never lose hope. I know you have all the challenges, but don't lose your hope for the future of Africa. And the Africa that we need is an Africa that puts forward the power of skills and capacity and the beauty of ideas.
The work of building a resilient Africa cannot be accomplished by any individual alone. It must be a collective effort. Building a resilient Africa is not an event, it is a process. And we all must do what we absolutely can to keep that process moving forward.
The Lagos State government says it has suspended its planned mass burial of the 103 corpses recovered in the wake of the October 2020 #EndSARS protest. On Monday, the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho, said that the suspension was based on the controversies surrounding the move. He further disclosed that up until now, nobody has shown up to identify any of the corpses, adding that the suspended planned burial would give people ample time to identify their relatives that may be among the deceased. To improve capacity in the higher education system in Nigeria, the University of Lagos has called for a seamless global partnership, saying that collaboration was key in recording faster progress. Vice-Chancellor of UNILAG, Folashade Ogunshola, said this at the opening ceremony of the International Week of the University of Lagos. Ogunshola said the theme, Breaking the Borders of Partnership, was chosen to draw attention to the need and develop strategies on how to overcome the impediments to effective implementation.
15 years ago, the University of Lagos decided that it needed to improve its international presence. And in the last few years, we've been working on more intentionally strengthening our international office. In 2019, we had the first International Week, which was to bring in our partners to meet us and to see what we do here. We have some partners that we have what I call equitable, inclusive partnerships. And that's what you were seeing with us in Dundee, where we're co-designing, co-researching, deciding on what research questions we want to look at, and co-teaching. We're looking at everything together. And we have just signed an MOU that's going to really bring together our law faculties on both sides, and so I'm looking forward to a more, as we call it, inclusive internationalization.
The University of Lagos is at the core of that heartbeat. It's one of the great universities in Africa. I think with the present Vice-Chancellor has real ambition, real vision on how Unilag can be even better still. And it's a privilege for me from the University of Dundee, from Scotland, to partner with Unilag. The Nigerian Student Society in the University of Dundee is perhaps the most vibrant society. So I came here to Lagos expecting a great deal. Actually, I found a city which is more modern, more advanced, even more enabled than I expected it to be. But both partners working together and delivering what works for both of them, and each partner having an interest not only in their own success, but in their partner's success. That's a very different proposition to what we've seen in the past.
It's time for a short break, but still to come, Liberians head to the polls in high-stakes elections amid flaring tensions. Stay with us. News Now will return shortly. Welcome back. Let's give you a recap of our top stories. With just a month to the Bayelsa State governorship election, Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has disqualified the candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Temipre Silva, from contesting in the November 11 poll. Justice Okorowo ruled that Silva, having been sworn in twice and served 5 years as governor of the state, would breach the 1999 constitution as amended if allowed to contest again. Reacting to the judgment, the All Progressives Congress Gubernatorial Campaign Council in Bayelsa State says it will appeal the judgment. We also told you that 4 students of the Nasarawa State University, Kefi, have been kidnapped by armed men who invaded their lodge at Angwan Kare, a community in the Kefi local government area. Confirming the incident, the police public relations officer in the state, DSP Rahman Nansel, explained that the abduction of the victims, who are all first-year students of the school, occurred in the early hours of Tuesday. He, however, said the Commissioner of Police, Maya Kibaba, had ordered the manhunt of the culprits to rescue the victims unhurt. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store and Huawei App Gallery. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. On business, the federal government has denied claims that payments for premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, have returned, saying that it is not paying any form of subsidy on the commodity. Mele Kyari, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, said the national oil company was recovering its full cost from imported products, while assuring there is no cause for alarm as there are over 1.4 billion liters of petrol for local consumption.
I told you there is no subsidy whatsoever. We are recovering our full cost from the products that we import. We sell to the market. We understand why the marketers are unable to import. We hope that they do this very quick, and this is some of the intervention government is doing. There is no subsidy. We have seen in very few states pockets of very low queues, not only connected with the road situation that we are seeing. There are a number of blockages on our road, crossing products from the southern depots into the northern part of the country. And it takes a much longer time than they do now. They have to reroute the trucks around many, many locations for them to be able to reach. And that created delays, and that created some supply gap, but that has been filled, and we do not see any of such problems again. And secondly, because of the full deregulation that we have in this sector, marketers are now competing amongst themselves. So one, you must have noticed some fuel stations will reduce price by 2 naira and 3 naira, so customers will naturally run to the places where you have that reduction in prices. And that creates panic, because for those who don't know why they are doing it, they will think that there's something wrong happening, or there's an ominous sign of scarcity, and people start queuing up in the fuels. Otherwise, there is no challenge. Supply is robust. We have over 1.4 billion liters of product in our hands, both marine and land. And also that there are no issues around delivery of those products into the land. So there is no fear, nothing to bother about. But we're also happy that the market forces are now playing out, and marketers are competing. And of course, there are a few issues we're engaging them to resolve alongside other agencies of government. And there are critical issues around access to foreign exchange. And we, as you all know, government is doing so much to ensure supply of FX into the market. We know that these FX markets will stabilize. Current A&E window is around 770, and we know that those inputs that's already happening, the inputs of government today will crystallize, and also they will come to an equilibrium position in the FX market. And this is the dream of this country, so that we'll have a stable FX market, stable product market, where the prices of product would also speak to prices of other commodities. And this is already manifesting, and we think this is the economic revolution that this country needs.
Our stock market report is up next. We'll be right back. Investors on the Nigerian Exchange Group could not maintain the previous trading day's bullish run as earnings depreciated by 0.17%, with the market cap standing at the 36.8 trillion naira mark. Market breadth also ended low, with 13 gainers against 27 losers. Leading the losers counter, John Holt PLC came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10% at 1.44 naira per share, followed by Presco PLC. And at the end of trading, investors exchanged a total of 257 million volume of shares valued at over 7 billion naira in 6,498 deals. A switch now to our select foreign stocks. The market ended in the bulls for the UK's FTSE, US Dow Jones and Japan's Nikkei. The equities ended trading at 1.82%, 0.79% and 2.43% respectively. On the global scene, Liberians have gone to the polls in high-stakes presidential and parliamentary elections amid flaring tensions, the first since the 2018 exit of a UN mission that kept the peace for more than a decade in a country scarred by 2 devastating civil wars. Incumbent President George Weah, a decorated former football star, is seeking re-election for a second 6-year term after a tumultuous first tenure tainted by corruption scandals and allegations of mismanagement. 19 candidates are seeking to unseat Weah, who belonged to the Coalition for Democratic Change (CDC) party, but he faces a contentious rematch with former Vice President Joseph Boakai of the main opposition Unity Party. And speaking with TV360 Nigeria, the Deputy Information Minister for Press and Public Affairs, Republic of Liberia, Jalawa Ntompo, said so far voter turnout has been impressive and the voting exercise has been peaceful.
I've not seen violent outbreaks so far, so good. But I can safely say to you that from the onset, when you have violence reported in some part of the areas, including the northern region, where the former vice president, who is challenging the current president, comes from, where the ruling establishment supporters, 2 of the supporters of the ruling establishment were killed, and that incident have been brought under control. For now, today, there have been no report of violence so far until because we are just going to the late evening hours, heading for 6 p.m. I wish time would be 7 p.m. Nigeria time, when the pool should have been closed in Liberia. I can safely say to you and the rest of the folks listening to us, that By the time the election results are announced, George Weah will be declared winner democratically, peacefully, free, fair. On the first round ballot, he will be declared a winner. In a worst case scenario, that we should go for the second round, he will still be declared winner of the process.
Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Nigerian comedian and media personality Gbadewonu Olateju Oyelakin, fondly known as Teju Babyface, is a father once again after his wife vetted their third child, a baby girl. The comedian announced the good news to his fans and followers on his Instagram page on October 9, 2023, noting that the bundle of joy was born a few days ago. The comic posted 2 pictures to his page unveiling the newest addition to his happy family. In the post, he and his wife of 11 years, Toby, cradled the baby girl lovingly. The legendary comedian and his wife married in September 2012 and welcomed their first set of twins in 2018. Now their happy family has welcomed one more. Congratulations to them. Nigerian singer Skills has dragged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for allegedly breaking into his house and oppressing his family. Taking to his ex account, he dragged the commission for the action of its agent, claiming they broke in through his back door. He said the agent showed up with sticks and hammers while he was asleep with his 6-month-old daughter. Enraged, Skills also alleged that the officers inflicted harm on his producer, who was also in the house at the time of the invasion. Skills went on vowing his newfound hatred for the organization, questioning their mode of operation, stressing that operating in the night made no sense. His followers in the comment section also advised him to sue EFCC, but Skills aired his lack of faith in the judicial system. And that's all on the entertainment segment of News Now. Okpeyemi Owosheni, TV360 News.
Finally, on sports, UEFA has announced that the United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland will co-host Euro 2028, while Italy and Turkey will be joint hosts of the 2032 tournament. The joint bid ran unopposed after Turkey withdrew to focus on a bid with Italy for Euro 2032, which was also confirmed at a meeting in Switzerland. England was one of the 11 countries to host Euro 2020, along with Scotland, as well as being sole host of the 1996 World Cup and Euro 96. And that's all on News Now at this time. Many thanks for staying with us. Bye for now.